For 2 months, many of you have been trying desperately to convince me that I would like something that I was pretty confident I wouldn't. And like a stubborn child refusing to even try a head of broccoli, I stuck to my guns, crossed my arms, and said, "No, thank you. I do not like green eggs and ham." And for 2 months, I'd been adamant that I will not watch the movie that blew up this summer, K-pop Demon Hunters. I think it was two of the trailers, or maybe it was one, and I saw it twice, I can't remember. But I saw the trailer, the animation looked great, but it is just not my kind of movie. It is a musical, and I've been very public about how much I do not like musicals. So it simply was not for me, but when this Netflix film exploded with popularity, I said, I'm happy that you're all happy, I'm glad. And for 2 months they said, "No, Charles, listen, you old Scrooge. This is fucking incredible stuff. You might not like musicals, you might not be the biggest K-pop fan, but this movie's gonna blow you away, trust me." The amount of times I heard that, if I only had a nickel. And I was firmly planting my feet and lat spreading, saying, I'm not doing it. You won't get me to watch it. I already know I won't like it that much. What's the point? But then tonight, at 5 a.m., after another sleepless evening, no rest. Gotta tell you, sports fans, I wish the K-pop stars could start targeting insomnia. Fucking banish that to the Shadow Realm, please. If you finish with the demons, please go after insomnia. I'm really fucking tired of it. But I said, to hell with it. I'll take a peek, I'll take a gander, see what all the fuss is about. Nothing to lose. I either watch something and I'm moderately entertained, I watch it and I end up loving it, or I fall asleep. All of these are fine outcomes at 5 a.m. when I just can't sleep in the first place. So I just finished it. It is now 6:30 a.m. And I bet you're expecting me to have this big eureka come to Jesus moment. No, you were all right. It actually was my favorite animated movie ever. Sorry to say that's not the case. I feel exactly how I expected to feel after finishing this film. I didn't hate it or anything. I didn't dislike the movie, but I didn't love it or anything. It was a fine time. It was a beautiful animated movie. The animation was stunning. I love the style of the film, which I also knew I would going into it, because the trailers, they do a really good job of setting you up for exactly what you're going to get. But like I said, I just don't like musicals. And I don't dislike K-pop, but it's not my favorite musical genre. So it's a musical in a genre of music that I don't typically download and snap my fingers to. So it was never going to be the grand slam home run in my eyes, but I totally understand why so many people have fallen head over heels in love with it. I definitely get it. If you like K-pop, this definitely has it out the wazoo, and the songs are catchy. Some of the tunes are definitely, little earworms that'll have you humming it a little bit, no doubt. My favorite song was actually the second to last one, the Your Idol one from the Saja Boys. That was a good song. I enjoyed that boner jam. And I'd confidently say that there's no bad songs in here. There was none of them where I was plugging my ears, begging for the agony to stop or anything. Overall, it was fine. It's exactly what I expected to happen for me. I watched it, I was entertained, but it wasn't something that I'll be singing or really thinking about in a day or two from now. But, like I said, I really do get why so many people have been glued to it. I know it just went to theaters. Netflix, this was so big for Netflix, they decided to put it into theaters, and in its debut a few days ago, it brought in 18 million, I think it was, on its opening, which is actually a huge opening. It beat Weapons, which I know Weapons is going into its second or third week, but this is a pretty big movie across the board. And it also does something that I actually think is a pretty cool direction for movies to go. I've heard they've offered sing-along performances, theaters are doing sing-along showings where people go in with the full notion that there will be people in the audience singing along to the music in the movie. I would never want to be in one of those auditoriums. Like they did that same shit with Minecraft with the Block Party edition where you're supposed to like yell memes at the screen or whatever. I would never want to be in one of these auditoriums, but I appreciate that they're doing it because I think any effort to make things more social and get people to interact with other people of similar interest is a great step in the right direction, whereas all of society and all of big business is right now focused on trying to keep you indoors and isolated from other human beings, even going as far as to try and fill your romantic void with AI companions. So anything that kind of kicks that trend is getting two big thumbs up from me. So I really like that K-pop Demon Hunters is having these sing-alongs, which apparently are doing really well with a bunch of people going around others with similar interest and being social and singing to a movie that they really like. I think that's great. I will never go, but I'm happy that it's there, and I'm glad so many people are going. I guess I'll give you a little pseudo review here. The story is throughout time, there have been these chosen singers who use their voice to seal demons away to keep humanity safe from them. They use their voice as a means of keeping them at bay and the ultimate demon lord from consuming souls. And now in the modern era, it is a K-pop group that takes on this responsibility, and they're getting very close to the golden seal that will once and for all end this battle where the demons will no longer be able to access the human world at all. Whereas in the past, there's always been like little tears where they can kind of trickle in here and there, but now they're very close to stopping it entirely. So we follow their journey to accomplishing that. Spoiler alert, we're going to get into spoilers even for K-pop Demon Hunters, baby. The main singer, Rumi, she is actually part demon. And she wants to seal this so that way her demon patterns can go away. She's been hiding them her whole life, and her mother figure, who's not her actual mother, but someone who promised to take care of her, has been trying to keep that secret from the rest of the group and the rest of the world because she believes it is a problem that needs to be fixed. In pursuit of the golden sealing of the demons throw one last Hail Mary. They're about to face defeat, but then they call upon their own boy band, who then goes to the human world and directly challenges them on the charts. They can't beat them in a fight because the K-pop Demon Hunters are very adept at combat, and the fights I think are very cool. I think the fighting is very flashy and it's very stylistic, and I think it goes hard. There's not a lot of fighting or anything. This really is mainly about like the story, the characters, and the music. But when there is fighting, I think it looks really cool. Really, everything in the movie looks very cool. They did pull out all the stops here in the animation department, and I really appreciate that because I fucking love animation. Like, it really is visually great. It is breathtaking at points. But anyway, they have the boy band out there, and now they're competing directly on the charts. And the Demon Hunter group, the K-pop Demon Hunters, they're Huntrix, that's their name. They immediately recognize the Saja boys as being demons, and they're immediately privy to their plan of stealing fans away so that way they can poke holes into the seal, so that way the demons can flood in and power up the Demon Lord. And then a romance blossoms where the lead demon of the Saja boys and the lead of Huntrix, Rumi, they start to find common ground because she's part demon. And he's very troubled. He doesn't want to be like evil. He made a mistake in his past, and he has been paying for it for 4 centuries now. And he just wants the voices in his head to stop. That's the whole reason he's helping the demon guy. And they are at odds, but eventually it blossoms into a very understanding, mutual relationship between the two of them. And it's a decent story. Like, it's not anything new. It's nothing you haven't seen before. But it's executed well enough that I think a lot of people will find it to be very fresh. I do think, though, that there were things that they wanted to explore but ran out of budget for. For example, Rumi, we only get little tiddlywinks about her past. She is the only person of her kind that we know of in this world that is half demon, half human. And we only know the bare bones that her mother and a demon got together, and she was born and was viewed as a big mistake, but the mother asked for a promise from her most trusted companion to keep her daughter safe. But we don't know anything about the mother or the demon father or anything like that, and I thought for sure that would be something we'd learn a little bit about, but it never came. Unless there was a post-credit scene that I might have missed. I didn't go through the entire credits. Maybe it's possible, I'm not sure. But I'm just surprised that that wasn't explored. It also felt like Rumi was the only character that got real depth. The other two members of Huntrix, they kind of just played on the sidelines. Like they gave you bits and pieces, like they gave you the general character personalities and like a bit of the background, but never really too much. You never really got to know them very well past their desire to seal the demons away and their complete hatred of demons. I really thought this movie was going to go in a different direction towards the end too, because we know Jinu, that's the demon guy's name, the lead of the Saja Boys. We know about his past a lot, and it seems like he's not the only one of his kind that is just reluctantly serving the Demon King. Like, no one seems to want to do that. They just have the voice in their head that is compelling them to do so. And he explains to Rumi that all demons do is feel all of their shame and all of that anguish that they've experienced when they were humans. They just live it perpetually. Like, they are not happy with where they are and what the Demon King does to them. So I thought that there would be like this turning point where there was like an understanding with Huntrix, like, oh, these demons, like, they were once people, and that's still somewhere in there. And a lot of them just want to live without that voice in their head reminding them of their biggest mistakes, that kind of thing. But that never comes. I thought that was where the plot was going, at least to a certain extent, but it's not. I guess it's just Jinu. He is the only one in the entire demon world. Him and his pets. They also are an exception. But it's not a complaint or anything, by the way. Like, they don't have to go in that direction. It's totally fine they didn't. I'm just saying I was just kind of surprised because they kind of put the breadcrumbs there that I thought that was where they were going. Anyway, though, I don't have any, like, big complaints about the movie or anything. I really don't. Even though it's not my cup of tea, it's not my taste, it's not like there was anything in here that I think was wrong or bad. It's, again, just not my genre of movie. So it doesn't really appeal to me in a big way. But I didn't have a bad time watching it. I was entertained. And yeah, that's really about it. See ya.